today over at the Wright Museum. Visitation will continue for those wishing to pay their respects to Congressman John Conyers, who passed away, and then the funeral will be held at Greater Grace tomorrow. But how do we remember this complicated figure in Detroit and Michigan political life? Mario Morrow, one of the founding family members of the Flashpoint family, back with us this morning.
Thank you.
Mario, you've been following politics in Michigan forever. He really had such a unique place on the Michigan landscape.
He did, and also
the nation's landscape, right?
Nationally,
Yes.
nationally and internationally. And I was just telling my son on the way over, more people recognized and respected John Conyers outside of Detroit, outside the state of Michigan, than inside, because he was like a rock star when he would go to places like L.A., Atlanta, Miami. A legend, a living legend at the time, and just people would just gravitate towards him. Just respected man.
It's kind of hard, really, to put us back into the mindset of understanding what it was like for a black man to go to Congress in 1967, I believe is when he went. 4 days after Martin Luther King was assassinated, he was putting forth the Martin Luther King holiday. It took 20 years to get it through, but that's the kind of attachment to history that he had.
Yes, and not just the Martin Luther King holiday, but the Civil Rights Voting Act, the equalization, women, and all minorities. John Conyers worked tirelessly day and night and didn't really care about himself as it relates to what the history would have him in the books afterwards, but he just did everything he could for the common man, black, white, brown, yellow, whatever the case may be.
The sad thing, of course, is that his career ended in such controversy, and I wonder how we sort of reconcile these two men. We see this with a lot of people who got caught up in the hashtag #MeToo movement. I'm not sure Matt Lauer is going to be remembered for dominating morning television as long as he did, as much as he's going to be remembered for how it ended. Do you fear that's how it is for John Conyers?
Well, to some degree, but we know in the African-American community that black folks are more forgiving than any other cultural or racial group. And we love and cherish John Conyers. We all make mistakes, and none of us live in glass houses where we can throw bricks and not anything shatter. We make mistakes, and he did the right thing, I believe, by resigning and stepping away and not causing this long, drawn-out process that we see in current times with other individuals. But I think that to some degree, history will lay their wreath on him in a very positive way. And the Me Too movement situation that John Conyers got caught up in will be one of those little specks of negativity.
Also, his marriage to Monica, who ended up, going to prison for taking a bribe, that sort of almost, it has to end up affecting your own legacy in a way, too.
I think it affected him to some degree. However, he stood by his woman.
He did.
And did comfort her when she needed comforting, and I think that she stood by him. And that shows, we see that a lot more in today's society, where men and women who love each other, who stay into their relationships, tend to do it in a very dignified way.
Thanks for the remembrances, Mario. Good to have you back at the Flashpoint table again. John Conyers' funeral coming up tomorrow afternoon at Greater Grace Temple. Meet the Press coming up next. Have a great week. We'll see you next time right back here for Flashpoint.